During the State of the Union address given so eloquently this year, President Joe Biden announced that the U.S. would be building a temporary pier for Gaza to help with the humanitarian crisis. Sounds great, right? Well, there are many problems with this idea that we're going to get into on the show today. Joe Biden's Gaza pier idea might in fact be a complete disaster. Stay tuned, I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Before we jump into everything that we have to cover today, make sure you subscribe if you're watching here on YouTube, or if you're watching on Rumble, wherever you're watching, or if you're just listening, give us a follow. Also, like this video, hit the notification bell there on YouTube so you never miss any of the episodes of the Israel Guys that we are putting out Monday through Friday. Also, go check out our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can give us a follow there. We would very much appreciate it. Guys, don't forget to sign up for the Israel Conference. We are hosting the first ever Israel Summit, May 20th through the 22nd. It will be hosted in Nashville, Tennessee. We would love to see all of you guys who are watching. We would love to see all of you join us there. We have a ton of amazing speakers lined up. This is going to be an incredible couple of days. This is including a full-on concert by amazing Israeli musician slash singer Yair Levy. Guys, do not wait to sign up. You can click the link in the description below to come to the Israel Guys Conference, the Israel Summit, May 20th through the 22nd. The time has come for all of us as Christians to come together and to say that the whole land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people. The time has come to keep God's land. So, as you heard in the pre-show, Joe Biden mentioned building a temporary pier for Gaza in his State of the Union address. Watch this video right here.
Tonight, I'm directing the U.S. military to lead an emergency mission to establish a temporary pier in the Mediterranean on the coast of Gaza that can receive large shipments carrying food, water, medicine, and temporary shelters. No U.S. boots will be on the ground. A temporary pier will enable a massive increase in the amount of humanitarian assistance getting into Gaza every day. And Israel must do its part. Israel must allow more aid into Gaza to ensure humanitarian workers aren't caught in the crossfire. And they're announcing they're going to have a crossing in northern Gaza. To the leadership of Israel, I say this: humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority. As we look to the future, the only real solution to the situation is a two-state solution over time.
So what is this temporary pier? I'm going to get into all the details of this plan that Joe Biden has, and I'm going to explain to you why it makes absolutely no sense at all, and the idea itself could be a complete disaster. Now, I got these ideas from several different articles. I will link them in the description below if you want to go into more details, if you want to check out those articles for yourself. First of all, I want to address this claim that all of the Gazan civilians, the Gazan citizens, are starving. The media is painting a story that basically all of Gaza is starving, and so that is why the world is coming to their rescue, including the United States, going head over heels to do everything they can to help the Gazan civilians. Vice President Kamala Harris even claimed that she had, quote, seen reports of families eating leaves or animal feed. Quite extraordinary. Well, check out this video. The caption on Twitter reads, quote, #Rafah, shawarma stalls springing up like mushrooms after the rain. The U.S. and the West think there is a famine in the Gaza Strip. Here is the new shawarma hamada stand in Rafah's Najma Square. There's a line and there's no shortage of shawarma. Now, yes, that is just one video. However, there are countless other videos out on the internet doing the exact same thing. There's even a video of a Gazan civilian, of a just regular Gazan man. He got a package of food from aid that was airdropped, most likely by the US. He got a package of food. He takes it and he throws it in the garbage can because it was from the US. While there might be a few people starving in Gaza, as a whole, the people of Gaza are not starving. That is a myth. And no, it is not Israel's fault at all. If there are people starving, which I'm sure there are a few, it is 100% Hamas's fault, which is one of the many reasons why Hamas needs to be 100% eradicated from the earth, which oddly enough Joe Biden is trying to stop, and we're going to get into that later on. My question, I guess going into this more, my question is why is Joe Biden spending so much money and energy into building a pier for Gaza when he hasn't lifted one finger to help the 5 American hostages who are still being held by Hamas in Gaza? That's a question that we all need to ponder. So Biden is building a pier, but according to what he said in the State of the Union, there will be no American troops boots on the ground. So who will be facilitating this? Who will be sort of the people who are actually running it and going about building the pier? It should come as no surprise, but the U.S. has asked Qatar to operate and finance this temporary pier. Yes, this is the same Qatar that funds Hamas and is the same Qatar that is currently protecting several of Hamas's top leaders in Qatar. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Honestly, I shouldn't be surprised anymore at the stupidity of the American administration. According to Channel 14 correspondent Baruch Yadid, Qatar consented, quote, Qatar consented to run the port on condition that the construction work go to the Al-Hisi firm, company controlled and sponsored by Hamas. According to Yadid, quote, Qatar has an interest in this port. Qatar wants to preserve Hamas. Qatar also wants leverage over Hamas. He went on to say, quote, when Israel expressed to the United States its opposition to Qatari involvement in the pier, it was rebuffed. We've arrived at a situation where the Qataris have control because they're financing for Hamas. It's good because it's their company. The whole idea was to isolate Hamas as a whole. Here, once again, is Qatari-American cooperation, and Hamas isn't isolated. Yes, the whole idea, Israel's idea is to isolate Hamas, squeeze them, go in, finally destroy them, and the American administration is doing the complete opposite and going in and trying to work with the Qatari government, the same government that literally funds Hamas. Makes absolutely no sense. Guys, we're going to talk about more details about the pier in just 1 second, but first, let me tell you about Israel 365's The Israel Bible. The Israel Bible combines the original Hebrew text with clear, accurate English translations that bring these ancient words to life like never before. It's full of beautiful charts, maps, and illustrations. The Israel Bible is vital for anyone looking to deepen their understanding of the Bible. Unlike any other Bible, the Israel Bible is a window into the divine connection between the scriptures, the land of Israel, and our lives. Its illuminating commentary focuses on the land of Israel, explaining why the fate of humanity rests on this one small country and understanding God's promises and prophecies for the end of days. But what makes it really unique is that it was created with you in mind. Featuring insightful explanations from Rabbi Tuli Weiss and other Orthodox Jewish teachers, it caters to people like us, faithful believers who are curious and looking toward the Bible to navigate our hectic times. Jew or Christian, if you're seeking insight and inspiration amid the ongoing challenges in Israel, This is a revelation you do not want to miss. Click the link in the description below to purchase the Israel Bible today. So Joe Biden said that this pier will take about 2 months to complete, which honestly for starving people is quite a long time. A reporter asked a Pentagon spokesman this question, quote, "Why not just use those existing ports and have Israel look at what's going through and bring it in? It seems like this is a lot of work for 60 days out when there are people starving, frankly." The spokesman did not have a good response. He just used a bunch of words, something that absolutely did not make sense. According to an article by Daniel Greenfield in Arutz Sheva, where I'm getting a lot of these ideas, he said this: "The actual answer is that the Biden administration does not actually believe that the Arab Muslim occupiers in Gaza are starving, let alone starving to death. Otherwise, it would be doing more than airdropping 11,000 meals and promising to have meal delivery running in 60 days. The temporary pier setup," this is key, "the temporary pier setup is about bypassing Israel to provide long-term access to Gaza." And what is crazy is that while administration officials are saying that the pier is temporary, that's what they're claiming, one senior official was quoted as saying, "We look forward to the port transitioning to a commercially operated facility over time." So no, it's not going to be a temporary pier. They're looking for it to be a permanent way into Gaza, working behind Israel's back. It feels like the U.S. administration is doing everything they can to work behind Israel's back. The administration claimed that it needs this port to, quote, "enable humanitarian partners to safely distribute life-saving aid throughout Gaza," but the claim that this is about the safety makes no sense because they're not actually providing security for the aid deliveries. A Pentagon spokesman, he shrugged off the question. A reporter asked him whether Hamas might open fire on American forces who would be delivering the aid packages. And the Pentagon spokesman, he shrugged up the question and he responded with this, quote, "I mean, that's certainly a risk again, but if Hamas truly does care about the Palestinian people, then again, one would hope that this international mission to deliver aid to people who need it would be able to happen unhindered." Really? Like, did he really just say that? Do they really still think that Hamas cares? Where did these people's brains go? Did they forget about how Hamas literally just a few weeks ago opened fire on Palestinian civilians trying to get aid from food trucks that came into Gaza? Literally, these people have lost their minds. The Biden administration is essentially trying to create a gateway to Gaza that Israel will have no control over. In the Arutz Sheva article, Daniel Greenfield called it a Trojan pier. He said, quote, "The Trojan pier is not only about bypassing Israel, but also Egypt. The administration's vision is that the new arrangement will allow it to directly move materials into Gaza without having to get permission from either Israel or Egypt. And that's a major victory for the terrorists. Biden's actions are a violation of Israel's sovereignty. After a decade and a half of trying to bottle up Hamas after the group seized power due to Condoleezza's Rice push for elections, Biden has decided to uncork the bottle. And while that's bad for Israel, it's also bad for America. The last quarter century has seen a series of painful lessons in the cost of trying to win the hearts and minds of Islamic terrorists. Having learned nothing from Afghanistan and Iraq, Biden is bent on repeating the same lunatic experiment by flooding Gaza with aid and rebuilding it. If he's hoping for gratitude, the locals throwing U.S. aid packages in the trash aren't showing it. So even after all the disasters that Biden has got himself into in the Middle East, overseas, he is still trying to open Gaza to the world, which is absolutely insane, trying to work behind Israel's back, trying to open up Gaza and keep Hamas alive, which is really what is going on. He's trying to keep Hamas alive, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't think he cares about the Palestinian civilians, or maybe he doesn't even know his brain isn't cognitive, so like he doesn't know about it, but if he did, I don't think he would care about the Palestinian civilians. The end of this article, I believe, sums up this whole thing pretty well. It says, if this latest treasonous episode of nation building succeeds, the Israelis will pay the price, but so will all of us. The Trojan Pier is not about delivering aid. It's about giving the terrorists a gateway to the world. And when that gateway is in place, the world will burn even faster. So, guys, in conclusion, pray for Israel. Pray for Israel as they have all of this pressure from them, from all over the world, from the American administration to, simply put, keep Hamas alive. That is, in blatant terms, what the pressure from the world is to keep Hamas alive. Guys, stand up for Israel. Raise your voice whenever and wherever possible. Remember, you don't want to be fighting against God. God is fighting for Israel, and Israel will win. It's just a matter of, will we be on the right side of history? And we're fighting against God. Deuteronomy 20, verse 4 says, do not be faint-hearted or afraid. Do not be terrified or give way to panic before them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. God is on Israel's side. Israel will win this war. Guys, don't forget to check out Israel 365's The Israel Bible. The link will be in the description below if you want to purchase that today. Don't forget to subscribe. Get that conversation going down below. Let me know what you think in the comments about this whole topic. And as always, tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening here in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.